Welcome to the D&D Morning Show. We got the Christmas edition coming at you.
So clearly we got some ugly sweaters on.
I don't know, you call yours ugly, must be fantastic. Woohoo!
Alright, so Dorothy wanted to perk these up a little bit, just in case they weren't perky enough.
They weren't too ugly, so...
She got the glue gun out.
Watch out when I get that glue gun out, I tell you.
Oh boy.
So we got some glittery bum-bums, some garlands, some pipe cleaners.
Pipe cleaners.
I was like, oh, don't point in that direction, they're too long.
How about the hat?
Whoa.
She used like 16 glue sticks on the hat to glue that
to
box
glue it
on.
on, it kept falling off. I'm like, I'm gonna make it stick, by golly.
She's dangerous with the glue gun. I gotta tell you real quick, I'm not a big fan of like smaller or tight-fitting clothing. So I'm getting better at it, but this is definitely not what I had in mind. We went and shopped around forever looking for an ugly sweater for one of our little parties. This was last year, actually.
Last year, yeah.
And then all I could find was like a decent ugly sweater in medium. So we're like, all right, let's make that work. So this is what I got.
Yeah.
And then
It
our
worked
hats.
out.
We got our rocking our hats this year too. So anyways, that's what we love, Christmas. So this is what it's all about.
That's right.
Where are you starting with?
We're gonna start with your juice, I believe. So Drew.
What's some fun facts?
Oh my goodness, how could I forget? We're gonna start with some fun facts. So, Drew, I'll start with your fun fact. They're kind of the opposite again, the fun facts. So, Drew, not a very good wrapping paper job maker. Whoa, look at that for an explanation. Wrapping job maker.
Wrapping job maker. That's pretty good.
He's not a very good rapper. He's just like rushes through it and done. And I'm like, we can't give that to people.
Yeah. All right, it's true. I must admit. But in my defense, I feel that it's what's inside that counts. And the presentation really doesn't mean a whole lot. Dorothy clearly feels the opposite.
I feel the opposite.
But I think that people are going to rip into it, throw the paper away. So why put all that time into making it look perfect?
Because it looks good!
When I was a kid, my favorite way to wrap presents was, you cut it too long, and then you wrap one side and you tape it, and then you twist the end so it looks like a giant candy.
Oh my gosh, that's how my dad wraps his presents.
Great minds.
I don't know. Crazy minds.
I'm gonna let your dad see this one. All right. What's next?
Now we can move on to the juice. So Drew has a new juice recipe is there something I'm missing?
I didn't tell them about your perfectness with wrapping.
Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead.
Dorothy got hers, and I want to tell you about hers. So hers has to be absolutely perfect, like Hallmark commercial TV perfect. And if it's not, then it's just not acceptable. So
you gotta redo it if it's not perfectly wrapped.
So those are the two opposites. I'm realizing the more videos we do, the more opposites
we are.
It's kind of funny. But yeah, Dorothy's presents, she should be one of those people in the mall that gets paid to wrap people's presents.
I could be probably. 6-inch ribbon. 6-inch. That's from Elf. Have you seen that part?
All right. Now what? The juice.
Finally.
You want to get into the juice?
I want to get into the juice. It's so delicious.
Okay, this juice came as a recommendation from Dallas.
Thank you, Dallas.
Yeah, thanks, Dallas. She said, Drew, you need to check this out. I'm sure she knows that I love ginger. I have a small obsession with ginger.
Huge obsession. Huge.
All right, it's pretty big.
Bigger than small.
I love ginger in every way, shape, and form. So what I did was, the recipe, it didn't say water for some reason. I found that odd.
A measurement for water?
Right.
No measurement? Okay.
Thanks. And so all it said was a cup of chopped ginger in water that you let that boil. And while that was boiling, I put in a half a cup of apple cider vinegar and a third of a cup of maple syrup. And
into the boiling water?
No, into a different container.
Oh, into a separate container.
Yeah, so the ginger's boiling on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Separate container, we put in half a cup of apple cider vinegar. And then we put in a third of a cup of maple syrup.
Okay.
And then I squeezed in a whole lemon. and I just squeezed the whole thing into that container
Mm-hmm.
while the other one was boiling.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that I was done boiling for maybe 10 minutes, then I mixed them together, and you can serve that warm as like a hot tea, or you can put that in the fridge. And Dorothy really liked it. At first I was like, "Ooh, that's a bit much." I thought the ginger kick, first of all, was a bit much, and then the apple cider vinegar. Excuse me,
Wow.
that's a new word. And then there was the apple cider vinegar. So, but after we let it sit for a couple hours, it chilled in the fridge. Then we had it. It was fantastic.
When he first had me try, he's like, I don't think you're gonna like this. But I tried it and it was fantastic. I said, oh no, I really like that.
I don't think you're gonna like it at all, actually. And now what I do is I boil ginger in just boiled ginger water, and then I put it in the fridge.
Slightly obsessed.
And
It's
that's
a
what I got
slight
right there.
obsession, this ginger water. If the kombucha wasn't enough around the house, now we got ginger water all over the house. My kitchen is being taken over.
It's anti-inflammatory nation going on.
I like it.
So that's what we have, and then that's what's in our cups as well, which would be a good time to talk about it.
Yeah, so we've got a few homemade gifts already from friends, which we absolutely love. We love getting homemade gifts, I suppose. We're not big gift card people, or we don't like to shop at big box stores. We like to shop local, make what we can, and yeah, so this was really touching to get some homemade gifts from some of our friends. One of our friends made us these nice water glasses, or I guess we have our juice in here, but she made this little like sleeve, I hope you can see it, with each of our names. Like Drew has one with his name on it, and it's all like homemade art. She just took out the sleeve that was in there and put this one in. So we were really touched to get something so meaningful. Yeah. And then, just a second, Drew. Just before you bring out the chicken, I want to show them something else. So, maybe you can see this. How attractive is this?
That's a big old foot right there.
Yeah, I think
There's
that's some
Dorothy's
big-
elephant feet.
Woo! But what I was modeling was my socks. One of our friends, she just started knitting. She just learned to knit not too long ago. So she made these pair of socks, which is so touching. She was saying that, what's wrong? What's wrong there? I see you put your nose up. They're clean. But she just learned how to knit, and she knit me a pair of socks, and she says, I said, wow, this is so special. How long does it take to make one pair of socks? And she says, well, I'm just learning, so it takes me about 2 weeks to make a pair of socks. And I was like, holy smokes, like, you worked on this project for 2 weeks. Like, that's so considerate. It meant so much. And they're nice and warm, holy smokes.
And slippery, you can slide across the hardwood
On the
floor.
hardwood, we had a little fun with that. Sliding on the hardwood floor. And then she told us she said, sorry Drew, I only make women's size socks. I haven't learned how to make the bigger men's socks yet. So then she pulls out this chicken.
Enter the chicken. So, not to get into the whole story, but basically in Germany they have some tradition where that you need a warm egg after a meal or with a meal. Not that matters too much, but
For breakfast.
for breakfast.
Yeah.
And so they put the egg in there to keep it warm. So she made this for me, and I love it. I just think it's, first of all, it's so cool.
He hasn't actually used it for an egg yet, but he likes to use it as a puppet.
Look how cool it is as a puppet. Anyways, I love it. Like, look at this thing. It's so cool. And to me, it's just the time and effort and thought put into it. So, like Dorothy was saying, you know, that's how we kind of shop. We try to think about the person, what they like, what they use, what they need. And this just means so much. Just the little things, like how much time and effort it would take to put in to make someone's name in cool writing and graphics.
Yes.
And then to actually sit and knit for weeks for someone for a gift, like, it means so much. So we thought that was cool. And then I just want to mention, maybe that's something that you might consider this year, instead of going to buy stuff. You know, maybe supporting local, maybe supporting those people that are supporting themselves with handmade stuff. That's pretty cool. And that, we didn't mention that back there.
Oh, this is a centerpiece, Christmas centerpiece, and I made it! It's so crazy, like, to step outside of your comfort zone and like create or do something different that you're maybe not used to doing or something new. Well, what can happen? It's interesting because I am by no means a florist, but I took a class and to make my own centerpiece, and wow. And we were actually talking about, you know, how cool it would be to give that away as a gift, although it's going to be hard to part with. But something that you took time and made, and it's you know, one of a kind. There ain't no other one like that.
Ever. All right, let's end with the quote.
Okay, so I found this quote very fitting for this time of year. It seems like everyone is rushing around and, you know, doesn't have a lot of time for a conversation or, you know, anyway. So, the quote is, "No one is busy in this world. It's all about priorities."
Fact.
Yeah, I thought that was so fitting, especially for this time of year.